All right, let's see. All right. Okay, so I'm going to start with the basics. Hopefully you guys all know this by now, but you can go to fans.com. You can pick up this information anywhere. I'm going to go over mission statement real quick just to reiterate for anybody that's new what we are about. So, put simply, Fans is a community where I think we kind of went over this the other day, we're the community. This is the place where anybody can come regardless of their army or other community affiliations and, have a good time playing Firefall, or come to look for a good time, say, hey, I've got an event to do this. I've got, I need help getting my Bane Claw, Brain Bucket, anything like that. Pretty basic, straightforward mission statement there. You can just put in TeamSpeak and click on it. Very simple rules to play by with fans. Treat others as you would like to be treated. Think about what you're saying and doing and how it's affecting other people. Try and have a good time. If you're not having a good time, let us know. See if we can help you. And if not, then if you're having a bad time, don't rain on everybody's parade. Go take a time out in the corner. Or do what everybody does when they're mad. Go wreck somebody else's sandcastle. I don't know. Whatever. So
spend a lot of time on our sandcastle.
That's right. It's messed up, you guys. So just avoid having a bad day altogether, and everything will be much easier. There you go. Easier said than done, I know. All right. So I think you guys all know that in our experience, Firefall is more than just a game. We like to have a multimedia experience. We got lots of streamers. We're actually going to be touching on that later in the meeting here. Twitter, social media, all the fun stuff, especially when you're playing around with the devs in Red 5. And just remember, everything that you say and do is going to reflect on you. So if what you're saying and doing while you're here is going to reflect on us. So just keep that in mind. That's pretty much it. Anything else you can pick up in the link that I put there. So I'm sure you guys can figure that out. And back to the topics. Okay, sorry, I accidentally closed the tab there. So, that being said, what are fans, features, and services? What do you get if you're a member here? Obviously, we have the TeamSpeak, which is hosted by the donations that everybody here in the community makes. So thank you, everybody.
Yes, thank you.
It's awesome. That also helps support, if as needed, our website, which so far Sleep has been taken care of very well. And we have lots of people who work on the back end. But the site is, you can do a lot of things on there. It's not limited to this. If you have other ideas or suggestions, you can let us know. Right now, we've got the forums, we've got the event calendar, we got the live resource feeds, and we got the, if you keep up with the news on the forums, we usually pick up the best stuff out of the Firefall forums, and you'll grab it right there. If your friends are signing up or not sure about signing up, not a big deal. Just sign up on the website, and it gives you a little bit of extra ability to move around in the TeamSpeak, some extra permissions on the website, and you have the opportunity to sign up your army in the FNet and advertise your army, and come to fans for community support and say, hey, I want to do this event, I'm looking for this, but I need people, or we need resources, that kind of stuff. So that is Us in a nutshell. No, not really. Now, we're going to move on to the topics for the meeting, which we'll quickly cover. And then we're going to open the floor to have a couple of other community members or sites tell us a little bit about what they're doing for the community and what they're bringing in. And then we're going to roll into open discussion. We're trying a new format, so if you guys have points or questions about anything that's said at any point, just make yourself a little note or, write it down or type it up or whatever. And when we open up the floor, you guys can bring that up and try to get to what everybody has to say. So, looks like on the list of hot topics for the meeting, number 1 is durability. Apparently durability was recently changed. I don't know. I didn't know too much about that. Who knows about the durability changes
Yeah,
here?
I'm not too familiar with it myself. Kuro.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Well,
There you go.
apparently it is 6 hours now of solid combat to, I think it's 1,000 durability. Which means any gear that you make now, I think someone worked it out, if you play about 3 hours a day, will last you a couple of weeks, regardless of quality. And it also means that any chosen drops you get will last you 6 hours, no more. And that's including no deaths at all. So, it's
So that's
quite
straight
bad.
in combat durability.
But it does seem to be a little bit buggy. Like, I think it's about 7 durability points per Ares I've been taking. But it does vary a little bit. Because you can kill one Arana, and that's combat, apparently.
Okay, so what we have covered here is that for new players or people that are worried about losing their gear, not having gear, you can print high green or medium blues and use that gear for all your day-to-day stuff, and then save your purple gear, your chosen gear, for specific runs or specific encounters where it's really going to make the biggest difference. And you also know that you're not going to be dying and wearing it out. The other thing about the feedback system is that it is still a work in progress, so they're going to be looking for our feedback, and it's important that we do explain to them how we feel about the durability system, and we do that in a constructive and positive way that's going to say, okay, not necessarily just whining and complaining about the fact that it's lower than it should be or it's higher than it should be. I'm sorry, stuff's wearing out too quickly, whatever the case may be. We just have to put it in a valid point where we're like, okay, this is what it was before, this is what it is now. I liked what it was before better, yada, so on and so forth.
Yeah, and the content right now is such that, I mean, we could all roll through just about everything with high greens to medium blues. I mean, the thing about printing purples and high quality stuff is, it bothers us mostly because we love that gear. We used a lot of expensive parts to craft them, and we don't want to lose them. But until the system's fully in place, it's best just to stow it and print some new stuff that you can just chew through and not care about.
And like Cream was saying, you can roll through this game with green gear easily.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I love my high-end stuff, but that shit is seriously overpowered. Pardon my French. Yeah, I mean, there's no joke. Like we were talking about, I do 4,000 damage with the alt fire shot on a Tiger Claw and a good printed gun. So, yeah. I could probably get by with 3,000 by printing a green one instead of a blue or a. I think I can find a way to survive.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of perspective. That's important that we remember that ourselves when we're giving feedback and when we're enjoying the experience. You don't want to lose your point, which is whichever one you prefer. So you do want to stick with that originally, but you want to take a chance to check out all the perspectives real quick and say, okay, let's listen to everything, and that way you're much more effective in delivering your feedback with how you feel about durability and how you think it could be used or implemented in a way that's going to improve everybody's experience. Because, as we've discussed, we've covered this time and time again with the mechanics and the way that stuff is implemented in Firefall. There's got to be resource sinks. It just has to happen. You can't have a drive for new resources if you get perfect resources that are going to last you forever. You got to have a constant cycling. One of the big parts of them for cycling and driving people to do resources is going to be to replace gear, which is, to me, a more accurate representation of the way things work. Granted, it's a game, yes, but there is some element of reality involved in the game, and it's just more realistic that gear does not last forever and has to be recrafted. So, plus it would break the game if you didn't have to recraft gear, because nobody would need new resources.
Right.
Be like, what do we do with all this pile of shit over here? It's piling up. Somebody
of
flush
course,
the toilet.
the whole system isn't in place either, so we're working with a part of a system. So durability is supposed to work with prestige and with the repairing system. So hopefully once those come in, we'll be able to even then extend our high quality stuff even further when we as a crystite sink. So right now we don't have any of that. So we just got to work with what we got right now.
Yeah.
And
then
give
maybe
the feedback knowing that those are incoming and that the system isn't complete, not just be reactionary about it.
Exactly. I think that's a good point, in that when you're giving your feedback, you can touch on that briefly and say, okay, well, this is my initial reaction to the situation, but I know we don't have salvaging and we don't have this in yet. So without those mechanics, here's how I feel about it. And that way they know, okay, well, the current experience is, this to this degree less enjoyable because we're missing these two key mechanics which balance out the penalty that we just imposed. So far, they've been pretty good about it, but there's definitely been multiple points like this where something was implemented that is extremely limiting to everyone's game factor, and it's not balanced out until the next patch when it's, the next mechanic is added in, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh.
Right.
Like, I remember when durability was first implemented, and I was flipping out. We were all flipping out. Everybody was flipping out because of how quickly stuff was going and how hard it was to get resources at that time. And number one, there was a bug. The stuff was dying way too quick, so they had to fix that. And number two, the very next patch, not a regular like fixed patch, the next content changing patch, all of a sudden we had these Ares missions and they were given rewards, and then all these other dynamic events in the game were given rewards, and then there was invasions, and then everybody was like flooded with resources. And when that happened, everybody's complaints about durability went away. It was like, well,
Yeah.
I guess it really doesn't matter how quick this stuff is breaking now because we're rolling in resources. So, and it's important to help new players understand that as well, that essentially with being effectively designed, and even though a piece of chosen gear may only last 6 hours and something that you crafted may only last a few weeks, in that 6 hours, you should get several other pieces of chosen gear. They may not be the ones you're looking for, but they're the ones that you can trade or barter for or something, or at least you have a chance to get them. And on the other hand, with crafting, in that several weeks that the gear is going to last, with just normal play, you had better have, quadruple the amount of resources that it took you to make the gear that you got. And it should be something even higher than that. So.
Yeah, and that's something they're looking at either. And going back to what Phobos was saying on Firefall Live about the faucet and the sink analogy, I don't know if anybody remembers that, but right now the faucet is on full blast and the sink isn't draining fast enough. So that
Right.
part of the process right now is the amount of resources that are going into the economy and into players' hands isn't balanced with the amount of resources that are outgoing in crafting equipment, crafting consumables, etc. So that's yet another thing that is being worked on right now. And Dark brings up a good point in chat here that we, not like we already have enough, or not like we already have enough CY sinks, and that's a good point. But to me, that's speculation at best until the system comes in. And while there are some people who have crystite issues and not earning enough for what they want to do, the bottom line is that everybody can earn a lot of crystite, and when the system is implemented, I think we'll all have better experience and better feedback to give once we've actually had time to do it. So to speculate or to argue, to make an argument on a speculation, I think is probably the wrong way to go, and is what a lot of people are doing based on durability, just the durability topic alone. So we need to work with it to understand it completely, and once all the mechanics come in, then we'll really get a chance to work with and understand their vision, and then we can honestly and properly formulate good feedback based off of that.
That's a good point. I'm going to see if I can build on that. I'm going to pull that point up to kind of a higher frame here. It applies in this circumstance specifically that we're discussing regarding durability, but it applies in a much more universal sense. So take from this what you will. The reason that that is so important is because negative energy, negative thoughts, negative perceptions, they block the creative process. They block the developmental process. When you're sitting there steaming and stewed up about how something isn't as good as it used to be, or is not delivering the experience that you were expecting, that's all that's going through your head. And you're literally blocking yourself from having the thoughts that could be creative or useful, or that could say, you know, all right, well, it's not as good as before, but I can see a way for this to be turned into something even better. So when you don't get upset about it, or you don't react negatively to it, and you try to keep an open mind, even if it's something that doesn't strike you in a beneficial fashion, or something that's like, oh, I'm really enjoying this, even if you're like, man, this sucks, I hate it, still want to try and stay away from getting caught in the negativity and say, okay, well, that's my first reaction, but, you know, let me take a minute and see how this really is, and see how I really feel about it, and then see what I can do to think about ways to make it better.
And talk to your peers too. You know,
Absolutely.
strike up a discussion with your buddies, either on the forums, or not an argument, and not force your opinion, but ask them what their thoughts on it. Maybe they can give you some insights before you come to your own conclusions.
And I don't want you to be afraid to express yourself. If something sucks,
Right.
don't be afraid to come to me or anybody, any of us, and say, this sucks. Fucking sucks, you guys. Fuck this. Get back in the car. Sucks. But don't get stuck in that. When you say that, and I'm like, oh man, really? Why? And then I'm like, yeah, you're right. That does suck. That's it. Then we're done. And the first thing I'm going to say to you is, all right, you're right. That sucks. How can we make it better?
Yeah.
What can we see to improve this experience? And I think a lot of people react to that very well. But what happens there, again, going back to the point I was trying to make, if you're stuck in that negative influence or in that negative exchange or energy, you won't want to come out of that. When I try to knock you out of it, I'll be like, all right, well, how can we make it better? But you can't. This fucking sucks. I hate this.
Yeah.
And if you need more time to get over it, that's fine. But just remember, ultimately, you're only going to serve yourself with whatever you put out into the experience, whether it's in Firefall or anywhere else. So if you're having a good time, put it out there. If you're having a bad time, try to have a good time. So,
Cool.
Not to take you guys in a loop there, but yeah. That's where we're at. And again, all the feedback people have on durability is going to be important. So I'm not discouraging anybody from giving it here to help hone you or help you hone your feedback into the most effective thing possible, because I know that it's important to what we're working together to achieve here.
All right. Had some good points coming up in chat. We should definitely talk about them later on.
Absolutely. Yeah, see what you guys are putting down there. I'm trying to keep up with it without losing my train of thought here. So yeah, and we can pull that chat log again in a minute anyway. So that's where we're at for durability. Obviously, that's going to be a hot point and something we have to give a lot of feedback on. And there's going to be a lot of feedback to give. So we just take a minute to make sure that it's constructive and it's good stuff. We help each other out. Hey man, is my tie on straight? I'm going into the office, have a big meeting with the boss. We're going to talk about getting that money. And for us, that's basically talking to Red 5 with the way we deliver the feedback, and ultimately the money would be the experience, the end game, what we're enjoying. They change it to fit all what we've come together and worked together to talk about. So, we've seen it happen. Sleep, I just closed whatever you sent me by accident. Can you resend it? All right, yeah, in a minute here, we're going to have some other people come up to talk about what's going on with their communities in Firefall. So I will be doing that at some point here. Going back on topic here, straying from the durability thing here for a bit. BWA, I think we all know by now that was changed. And that instance... the rewards were tweaked to only give the big rewards for the missions once every 24 hours. And again, this is one of those situations where they had to implement one of the mechanics without implementing the other mechanics, which are coming with another change, like we were just talking about in our example with the resources and durability earlier. So BWA can only get it once every 24 hours. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I played a lot of other games where certain daily dungeons and rewards are limited to once every 24 hours or so many dungeon rewards and so many instance rewards in so many hours. So to me, that's not unusual. And we've got some positive feedback from one of the developers, Energetic and Phobos, saying, there are balanced tweaks, changes coming to BWA, since a lot of people are running that heavily too as one of their primary sources of resource income. So like to see some more resources actually on the level of BWA in those other instances, and I'd like everybody to be able to run 4 or 5 different instances a day and get enough rewards to last you through that whole day. So be good. Just taking a look at chat here.
Sorry, I had to step away for a second.
No problem.
Are we on BWA?
Yeah, that's pretty much it for the BWA. And now we're on to Baneclaw. So, Baneclaw, as you may have known, our last event was canceled. The reason it was canceled is because there's not enough mans to deploy. They're currently, the melted muscle tissue is extremely difficult to find, I think is probably putting it lightly. So, if people want to see Baneclaws, you're welcome to approach either leadership or people who are interested in that melted muscle tissue or getting the parts necessary to make them. And if you have friends that happen to have a man that's ready to be deployed and they're just looking for a group to run with, they don't necessarily have to wait for an event, since we won't be scheduling them regularly until either the stuff is more readily available, or it may just turn into this type of event where, as somebody has a man available, they let us know, and we organize an event around it, and we get as many done as we can when we do that event. But it may be one of those things where you just encourage people to let the event managers or mods or admins know, like, hey, I need help to get my Bane Claw bucket. I'm available this day, this time, and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, feel free to just post on the fans forum too if you know somebody. It's fairly simple to just grab a bunch of people. Once somebody says Bane Claw, within 12, 24 hours, you can get a squad together. Or a couple squads, I mean.
Yeah, especially now that really it can be done with a group of 20 to 25 people geared in stage 2 to 4 gear. And the rewards are actually fair if you only have about 30 people. We don't necessarily have to have real big runs anymore. So it can easily be done, on the whim. You can get 20 people. I can almost always pull 20 people when I'm on, so.
Yeah, or just message Smith and Wells. He'll do it solo for you.
Yeah, there you go. That'll work. You get a bucket, and you guys will get sick rewards.
Sick.
So, but that is the state of Bane Claw. It's why you guys have not seen us with our bi-weekly Bane Claws going on. So that we wanted to put that out there so you guys are aware and everybody knows. It's not that we're trying to do less events. It's just that, we're working with the circumstances that we're dealing with. So speaking of more events, that brings us back to Frax. I don't know if everybody got a chance to check this out or not. Yeah, farm resonators, amps, and XP, which I think anybody who's been playing Firefall for a little bit of time here recently understands that farming resonators, amps, and XP is what it's all about. And you actually get rewards in this. You get Crystite, you get resources. So they did fix the LGV bug.
Sorta. Yeah. The fix was to put a minimum distance between the start lines now, and I think it is now 10 meters. Is that right? Anybody know? Back you, yeah, kinda. 15, 20 meters.
Yeah.
Right. So the bug was that you could overlap these start lines and then run out
Do a million of them at
and
a time.
overlap your finish lines all at once, and then literally start a bunch of them all at once and then roll through like 20, 30, 40, 50 finish lines at one time. And
I may have
rake in the stuff.
I may have tested that for a couple of hours one day in the name of science and testing. Yeah. So
it was good that they I was surprised they went in so quickly and did that. It was just a matter of less than 4 or 5 days, less than a week.
Yeah, but now that they fix that, we are going to do the Frax event, and we're going to see about doing that once a month where we set up, I think last time it was 24 race lines. I mean, we can set up any number of race lines, and that's something we may change based on.
I have the new Frax track.
There you go. And this is going to be... Go ahead.
It is... Sorry. It's in the FCOM 5 channel if anybody wants to download it and play around with it.
You just open the file browser and you can download Frax 24 V2.
There's a squad dumping for resources nearby.
And that's something, we may be able to slightly adjust. I know Driller did an awesome job of making the track. Cream helped us come up with the original idea. And it's something that's kind of grown from there. We had to take it out for a little while because there was no rewards for the races. But now there's rewards for player races again. And thankfully, they didn't just take them out as a fix to that LGV exploit. So we'll be able to keep doing the event there.
So anybody who downloads the track from the site JSON file, it's south from Copa, so you go southbound this time instead of northbound.
I think really the only requirement for the Frax, anybody can make their own Frax track and do their own Frax event. So if it's something you enjoy and you're like, you know what, I really think it would be better if we did this many races and we did it in this direction, or we went through here, we turned left instead of right, whatever. Definitely knock yourself out. I think the only really requirement for the making a frax track is that it's point to point. So the finish line, or I'm sorry, the start line is, your start point, finish line is there, and then you want your next start line to be at your finish of your previous line. So even if you can stack multiple lines, we're going to want to stay away from that for the frax events anyways. That's something you can test, quote unquote, on your own time, I'm sure. That's because, again, this is we're working with Red 5, so we don't want to openly encourage a big event for people to go nuts. I think we're already kind of pushing it as it is with our frax event, because even without exploiting any of the mechanics, you can make a sick amount of XP, resonators, crystite, resources just by running around doing one of these frax events for a couple of hours one day. And you can do it on any frame, and you don't have to have an LGV because you can use the race LGVs. So your grandma can do it, your kids can do it, and you can level new frames really fast that way. So good for
That's a good
unlocking.
point. Yeah, that's a good point, Shira, that the wandering encounters right now do add a level of difficulty to any LGV. So Frax will have that added difficulty level. So you may want to
It's a
reconsider
challenge.
going on a... It is a challenge, and if you can sort of... I found a lot of people were doing with... Stamble set up a Frax event 2 weeks ago or something, after they had done the wandering encounters or added them in. And what I found was that a lot of people, and myself included, would go by them, just kind of ignore them. But they would compound, so there would be more left over. The next person that would go by may also ignore it, but then more would just continue to spawn throughout the world because they spawn on a player basis, right? So if one shows up ahead of you, it's spawned for you, and if you leave it behind, it's going to stay there until somebody clears it. I think. I don't know if it despawns or not, but so that'll definitely add a whole other... All right, so they do despawn, but that'll still add... It added at the time a whole other dynamic to the Frax rally.
All right. So that brings us to streamers and streaming. I think Sleepwalker is rebuilding the streamer section on the fan site. We'll be discussing that in more detail in the near future. Do you have anything else to say on that, Sleep? Okay, he's got nothing to add. All right, we are also looking to have a dedicated marketplace section on fans, which is going to allow people to post their crafting recipes, post your ThumpDumpDB profile and say, this is what I can make. People will be able to post to somebody and say, okay, I'm looking for this kind of gear. Can you make me this? You can discuss the quality, the resources that are available, trading, kind of add a little bit of organization to the chaos of the marketplace that is in game currently. So right now we are doing this in the Firefall discussion section, but I think if we get enough interest and we get enough posts and stuff going on in terms of trading and discussion of the marketplace and crafting, I can make this for you, I can make that for you, or can somebody make me this? Then we're going to go ahead and create the whole section on the forums and take it from there, see where that goes. Other than that, that's pretty much what we got to cover for fans. Before we get into the open discussion section, I'm going to have a couple of people from a couple of different affiliate communities let us know what's going on with them and what they have coming up. So let's see. Naz, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
All right, no problem. I just gave you talk power, so. Do you want to let us know what's going on with COC, or did you want to have somebody come in, or what?
I think I'm kind of the only one here today. Everyone else is working or streaming right now. I'm kind of the back end guy, but I'll give it my best. COC is, I mean, we're dedicated to streaming. We're trying to stream as much Firefall as possible, but when, you know, we run out of stuff to stream on Firefall, we stream everything we can. Don't got a whole lot else to say. If you want to come stream, come see us.
You have a Twitter?
We do. Communityofchaos.com is the website. Twitter, I'm not sure. I think it's still under Cass Nash. I'd have to look. My bad.
And I'm going to throw something in there a little bit to kind of just build on what Naz is saying. So, why... To cover this, we got to cover why it's beneficial. So, the reason that this is good for everybody in terms of streaming is that it brings new players, it generates new people to the game, it gives new exposure to Firefall that people, you know, may have not seen it before. And that's also part of the reason that you have to stream other stuff, is because people go looking for other things, and then they like what they see when you're playing other streams, and then they follow your channel. And then one day they pop in because they see you came on, and they see that you're not playing what they followed you for, but you're playing Firefall. And then you're like, holy shit, what is this? Look at this amazing game. And then the streamer's like, oh yeah, it's free. You want to download it? Like, no way. Oh my god, I'm downloading it right now. And there you go, you got a new Firefall player. So it's definitely beneficial. So that's one of the things that we're kind of trying to push in the community now. We've actually discussed this with Red 5 as well. If anybody is streaming Firefall, you should follow them. Now, I'm not going to tell you guys what you should or shouldn't do, so take that with a grain of salt. But what I'm doing personally is anybody who is streaming Firefall, I'm following their stream. And then when I see them pop up, even if I don't have time to watch their stream, I'll jump in their stream and minimize it or whatever. I know certain people have technical limitations, bandwidth, machine, whatever, so do what you can. But, you know, if you see somebody pop on stream, you're doing something else, you can pull up the stream and minimize it and keep doing your homework or whatever it is. By increasing the viewers for our streamers, you give them a chance to show up on the Twitch page and get new random people coming in. And then again, these random people are the ones that you want coming in, because you have plenty of good people, plenty of good players out there who still haven't discovered Firefall and have no way of knowing about it or what it is other than randomly walking in through some Twitch streams or whatever. So definitely want everybody to
They're trying to weaken everyone's grip on this area to get a foothold on the
follow
region.
streamers.
Can't let that happen.
And if you're interested in streaming, they're open. You know, they'll give you guys a time and a spot to do it in. They'll help you, you know, figure out how to do streaming if you have questions. So it's a pretty useful resource for anybody who's interested in checking out streaming in general as it is. So
Yeah, and that's really what we're trying to do. I mean, we're trying to get people streaming. We're trying to help them stream if they haven't streamed before. You know, we're trying to increase their viewership because it helps us all as the game becomes more popular, more money's dumped into the game, which is a benefit for us all. You know, we've been doing it for a while. We have the technical back end down pretty well, and we're learning more all the time. We want to follow all of you too. We're not about promoting Cass Nash or any of our shows. That's not our goal. Our goal is to promote the game. So we add everybody. I mean, we promote AOD, we promote fans, we promote Squeak, and we're trying to be the place where the community comes to stream as much as possible.
Cool.
cross promotion. And you guys know that's fans, we're all about that. So that's why we kind of have just a natural
Symbiotic
hand in hand.
relationship.
Yeah, you got it. Reciprocity. So these guys, they understand the message, what we're all about here at Fans, and they live and breathe that message every day, and they're about the same thing. So I think it's definitely a good place if you're interested in streaming and checking that out. You have questions, you can check that out. If you want to promote your stream or that kind of thing, you know, just talk to these guys, and I'm sure they can help give you some tips and some ways to improve your viewers and that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, any questions, just shoot them to communityofchaos@gmail.com.
Right on.
there you go. And you guys have a calendar of events, or I know that stream schedule comes up pretty much at the end or the beginning or the end of everybody's stream. You can see what's coming up, right?
Yeah, there's our offline is actually a calendar of events during the week, but we're working on a little more solid calendar that's a little more adaptable.
Sounds good. All right, Naz, you got anything else for us?
No, I'm good.
All right, cool. We'll bring you back in a minute here when we open the room back up. All right, so that's Community Chaos for you guys. And now, let's see. Squeak.
Hey guys.
What up?
Hey,
So,
Squeakin'.
for anybody who has seen Firefall Live recently, you should be familiar with who this person is, but I know not everybody watches it. So, Squeak, why don't you introduce yourself?
Well, I'm SqueekinOrka, and I've recently set up a Firefall website called New Eden Broadcast. It's also known as Thumpin' for Signal. It's basically to help the community, to promote the community with like fan sites, YouTube, Twitch, basically anything related to Firefall. Yeah.
What's the URL?
Yeah, what's the website you have? Thumping for Signal, right?
Let me type it in chat here.
There we go.
I'm picking up the
That's
signal
it.
for a crashed LGV.
And your
So,
and your
now-
Twitter is
I find
at
something
thumping
good.
for signal.
If I understand this correctly, people can just send you an email or a message or a tweet or something to say, okay, this is my army. We're in Firefall. We're active.
Yep, that's correct. I just posted on the army section because I'm running real low for armies. I've got like 3 armies on the website. So yeah, you can reach me at. You can fill in a form on the website. You can send me a message on Twitter. Reach me at the forum, SqueekinOrka, on the forums. And yeah, if you have like an active army, because I'm going to try and keep the lists as active as possible. So if someone's looking for an army, we can direct them to an active army. Same with fan sites, anything. So anything that you have that's Firefall related, you can drop me a message and I'll get it up there as soon as possible.
Right on.
Yeah, and also as I messaged some of you guys on the forums, I might be starting a like a monthly event calendar. So I might be starting that in the new year. So if anybody has like any events coming up for the next, say for the next month, then just drop me a message and I'll try and set up a monthly calendar. Not too sure how it's going to work out yet. So yeah, got a few things to figure out, but there is also a event calendar on the website as well, which I try and keep as up to date as possible. Usually that has a link to a forum thread or to a link about the event. So always click on the event name, and it should take you to the forum thread.
The Accord is reporting some unusual activity
So
near
that's
an old
pretty
Firefall
much it, I
bunker not
guess.
far from Trent's
If
hut.
you have anything
They believe it may
Firefall,
be
drop me a
related to this
message,
new
and I'll
class of
help.
raiders
And I'll
we
do
have
my
been
best to
seeing
help
lately.
promote you guys, like everybody. I'm not focused on one person. This is for everybody. So yeah, just drop me a message and I'll help you out the best I can.
Awesome. Thanks, Squeaks. There you go,
Yeah, no
guys.
problem.
Another way to promote your events or your streams or your army, anything in general.
So I'd say it's best to, if you can, like, follow the Twitter page, because that's where the updates come from, and that's where I always post. But there is also a live Twitter feed on the main page of the website, so you can see all of the main tweets there as well.
Awesome.
That's squeakin-tastic.
That's right. All right, Squeak. So that's all you got for us for now. I'll put you back, and we'll open you up when everybody else opens up here. I think that's all we had planned. Did anybody else have some kind of community resource that I'm overlooking at the moment that wanted a minute?
LoRNiKoN?
That's right. I talked to him earlier. I wasn't sure if he was going to be ready. He's ready. All right.
Hello.
LoRNiKoN. What's up?
Yeah, not much. Well, not too bad. Right. Well, from my aspect, obviously, some of you guys know that I do a lot of streaming. I've got YouTube stuff as well. Me and Sleep generally tend to stream side by side. Like, obviously, he's got his stream channel, I've got my stream channel, but we tend to do the same games at the same time so people can see everything that's going on from both aspects. We're kind of working on a schedule, so at the moment, for anyone that's interested, if they want to kind of come over and check things out, we're kind of looking at Monday we're going to be streaming Firefall. Tuesday, unfortunately, it's not Firefall, it's going to be Battlefield. Wednesday, it's once again going to be Firefall, but the Firefalls that we do are going to be a mixture of live and also seeing what's currently going on in PTS. Because obviously things are much harder in PTS, because obviously having lower frames and the fact that 90% of the map is completely overtaken by Chosen.
But it's also useful for lazy folks.
Yeah, you get to see some of the new
Trezat,
stuff.
who, want to know what's going on in the PTS, but really don't feel like playing it. So,
Yeah, so
you
we've
can just watch
done it
stream.
the other week when it was just after all of the dynamic events got put in, so we were running around trying to find some of the dynamic events so people could see them. We're going to have Call of Duty on Thursday. We've got Random Friday, which is going to be after Firefall Live. So that could be any game that we randomly decide between us during the week that we're going to stream that day. So it could be something completely low-profile game, or it could be something that's decent. It could also be Firefall again. We don't know. And then Saturday and Sunday are a bit hit and miss at the moment on what we're going to do. Saturdays may not happen because I have another plan for a community project which a couple of people here are aware of. I'm not going to go into it just yet, but if that kicks off, hopefully that should be starting next weekend, following Firefall Live. So probably Saturday, maybe Sunday, people will start to hear about that and what's going on with that. But as I said, there are a few people here that know that. So, but there will be an associated website to follow that other community thing.
Oh, yeah, you're going to post the Twitch and Twitter for Coop-Comrades?
Yeah, oh, there you go. Thanks, Sleep.
Cool.
Sleep's done it. And then the
There you
YouTube
go.
stuff is YouTube/Coop-Comrades. And most of what I put up generally is Firefall, because everything else I put up doesn't get as many views. So pretty much most of what goes up is Firefall.
And again, so we're back to what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
It's surprising how many views you can get off of putting Firefall in your
That's the
stream.
thing. I can stream things like Call of Duty, or I can put Call of Duty videos up. That's obviously a brand new high-profile title. Yet I still get more video views from my Firefall stuff, which is, for me is just really bizarre. It's like, what was it last weekend? Some of you've probably seen the Spitfire dueling video. I think, granted, my channel's still really, really small, but I had something like 150 views in less than 24 hours, which for my videos is pretty darn fast.
It's the nice thing of Firefall being a multimedia experience is that, Twitch streaming has been part of this game from the get-go, and it's built into the client. Granted, it's not nearly as good as OBS or anything else, but the intention is there. And I think that with that being part of what surrounds the game, it's really a good thing to help build your streams and get if you're really into streaming and looking to get views, or even if it's just something that you're doing as a hobby and you want to see how well you can do, you definitely got a lot of opportunity here. So
yeah, definitely. That's it from my end.
all right, very good. All right, Lauren, thanks for your time here.
Cheers for letting me drop on.
No problem. All right, now I think that's all we got for
One
what you got.
small addition on Frax. We don't know the date. We'll announce that soon, so just keep an eye out.
Yeah, I asked Silencer. He didn't answer me. You there?
Hey guys, how's it going?
There he is. Hey, what's up, Silencer?
Sorry, moving and shaking.
No worries. So,
Alright, so you want me to kind of tell you what's going on in our world?
You got it.
Alright, well first of all, so those of you who may not be aware, AOD is about a 1,500 member community across multiple games. So that's one of the things that makes us a little bit different. You'll see us bounce in and out of Firefall in waves. Right now there's a lot of hype around BF4, so we've got dedicated BF4 servers hopping and moving, but I think the thing that we have come to appreciate is really our interaction with the dev team. We're a little bit of an anomaly because we're ridiculously large. So they're trying. First of all, the impression from us was, "Ooh, not so sure we want that." And now it's kind of come into talking with Mark and some of the other folks there. Sort of the bigger the community, a la fans, a la Community of Chaos, right? The better the replay from the members. So what you guys have all probably found out is that the moment that somebody gets a little bored playing solo, they stop, right? They're looking for the next game. But the communities are what make players sticky. People didn't play WoW for 8 years solo, so
Absolutely.
So it's been good to interact with them. They're keeping track of. We're giving them information around our inactive waves. So we have people that we're about 340 members at the moment that are recorded, but they come and go, and a lot of them are waiting for the milestone patch. But I think that's kind of it. Quick shout out to Orka. She does a great job of making sure that the publicity is happening. Especially if you're busy working on your content. Also to Community of Chaos, we're going to take up 2 hours of their time and run an Open Aries marathon here in about an hour. So you guys are all welcome. It's basically a scenario where AOD leads the groups, we point the direction, and it's just a lot of fun. You get like 40, 60 people all completing Aries missions like in seconds. Because, you shoot one mob and then it's done. You go on to the next one.
Have you got a website or a Twitter address you want to?
We do. So right now for Twitter for AOD, it's really just me, and then the website is clanaod.net.
So is it at just me or at Silencer77?
Oh, it's yeah. I'll put it down in the
Cool.
chat for you guys. Yep. Yeah. So our goals at the moment, short-term goals, obviously, are to continue to grow organically. We, obviously we're looking forward to the milestone. Talking a lot with the the dev team is very helpful. If you take the approach like Cream said of, hey man, this is their job, number one. So if you see them pop online in the middle of the evening, they're probably at home just trying to play the game. So, if you treat them like they're just a dude playing a game, chances
just
are
play with them.
they'll open up a little more. Exactly.
Yeah, don't
Don't
always
hassle.
ask them a million questions. Like, there's a time and a place, don't get me wrong, and they're more than happy to help you. But he's making a perfect point. When they're coming on in weird hours or in times when you're like, he's got to be at home or he can't be at work, just play with them. Don't be like asking them all kinds of questions or hey this, hey that. Just have fun.
And I got props out, to Mark. I wailed big and loud about the BWA thing, not for the rewards mostly, but mainly because of the, the type of play that people are looking for. Our concern is that it's going to push most of the elite players back out into New Eden, competing with the normal players. And so we had a good long discussion, and he talked with Scott Youngblood a little bit about it. They called a big meeting, to decide what was going to happen. And ultimately, because of all of your input, they're going to make a further revision. So they're not going to leave it just at the 24-hour piece. But guys, yeah, the big issue is that, somebody speedrunning can get in, have very little durability impact, and get one of the biggest rewards that's available in the game. That was really the issue, is the fact that they could speedrun it. So it wasn't that you could do it quickly or that it was fun to go in and ninja. The issue is that you could do it without really shooting your gun a lot. That was the problem. So, but wait for Prestige. It's coming. You'll get Prestige, and think of the time frame of not like the first week of January. So when you hear these guys say January, don't even think like right after Christmas. Think like February, and then you'll be happy.
And you'll want to shoot that gun.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But good, if you guys ever need people, let us know. If you know of somebody trying to secure their Bangclaw fragment, we do a lot of co-ops, which is somewhat fun. Not that we're trying to avoid the community, but part of the challenge is getting it done before you have other people show up. So
yeah, cool. Options are great. The more there are, the better.
Good. Thanks for the opportunity.
Cool. Thanks, Hazard. All right. Now I think that's it. As far as people goes, yeah. So now, at this point, yeah, we're going to go ahead and open the channel up, and everybody will be able to talk. Everybody's just going to talk all at once.
Not all at
and
once,
talk
please.
all over each other. So let's try and keep it somewhat organized. But I'm sure we all have lots of things to say about what we just talked about. So.
Yeah. Should we go down the list in the same order we started with?
Yeah,
we'll open
we
up
can,
to durability.
We can do that. Yeah, we'll start. We're gonna start off. We're gonna go back to your points that you wrote down an hour ago here about durability. So we'll start off with the durability discussion, and then we'll go through BWA. Here, let me just type it out for you guys. Hold on.
And just a reminder, please try and avoid the hyperbole. Formulate your discussion accordingly. Try and present facts and understand that durability is a work in progress.
All right, sleep. Let's do it.
Oh
my God.
No!
Hey,
Oh my God!
There it is.
Hey,
What?
let me know
Hello,
how
everyone.
to.
It's my
How to
turn.
produce
Has
knives.
I'll try that again.
Yeah. What was one of the points? Somebody brought up a point about, was it resources? I think it was, who the hell was it?
Sleep.
It's my sandcastle.
Hiya, cat buff.
What about
Shira.
resources?
I'm just
Blending.
scrolling up here. Was it?
It's about blending.
Oh, we're going back
Okay.
through the chat logs.
Yeah, it's about blending and if about the inventory limits. The discussion was the problem with the inventory limits is they affect the resources, and with there being 16 resources and all of them can have 1,000 variants.
Oh, right, that's right.
Yeah, that was the issue.
Right. That's a pretty big topic. I
Yeah,
saw that
that's
on the
that's a
forum.
huge amount of stuff.
There are several ways they can easily fix that.
Yeah, number one, cut
Number
off a
one
decimal
being,
place.
can I? Number one being items and resources have a different pool, have a different inventory limit. I mean, a second one is reduce blending time by a lot, and the third one is don't put a limit on resources.
Well,
Okay.
I think if they just chopped the zero off the end there, they'd be all right.
That's
Yeah, I totally agree.
I talked about to one dev in the forums about that, and what he wrote was that they don't want everyone to have all quality of resources in the inventory, because then you don't need to go out there and hunt a resource to get the special equipment you want to. They don't want you to be able to craft all the stuff all the time, so they try to limit you to a few different qualities of a resource. So they don't want to give you all the resources, so they will not reduce to 100 quality difference.
I agree to that. So basically, another fix with it blending time, reduced or different inventory limits.
Phobos said that on One Fire for Life.
Yes.
I think it was already 3 weeks ago. He said that they will modify the blending time hardcore-like if they limit the inventory and resources count as inventory stuff.
Yes, I heard that one.
Right, and they haven't said specifically that it will. It's always been an if or a maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah, always.
Yes.
Yeah, just to be clear that it's not an absolute fact that resources will count against your inventory. It's just nobody knows if it won't.
At the moment it does.
Quick question.
Does it?
What is this
well,
horn of
you're at
plenty?
8 million though. Sorry.
Not
I just
that
got
I
a-
know.
Stacks.
What tree is that?
I just got an
Different
item
stacks.
out of the vending machine that is called the Horn of Plenty.
Oh, that's
It's a
accessory.
5-use XP bonus I can give to other players.
Is it packed? Can you sell it?
Yeah, it's a Thanksgiving type of thing. You give like, what is it, 5% experience to another
Yeah,
player?
1 hour of 5% XP to another player if they don't already have an XP boost.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's like their Christmas present from like
Mhm.
2 years ago.
Christmas
That's
presents
awesome.
nuts.
Basically.
So,
Oh, Trees, if you're not aware of the momentary items, you should buy the turkey head and the bleak as long they're cheap. You can get them until the 2nd of December.
Wait, which turkey head?
And after the 2nd of December, I guess the prices will go up, like the cat ears. You
Yeah.
could get them for 10k, and now they're by 100k.
Uziel, what's the name of the turkey head? The one with the feathers in the back?
Gobbler.
The Gobbler.
Is a jungle camo battle frame pattern a unique pattern that you can't buy?
you can only
You
get it in
can
the
buy
vending
it.
machine, or you
You
can buy
can
it.
buy
across
it.
You
the
can't
market.
buy it for red beans.
For red beans, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't buy it for red beans, you can buy it on the market.
Oh, how much does it sell for?
Give me a sec.
Anywhere from like 80 to 150k for those usually.
Oh, that's not that much.
It depends.
I'm gonna
how
use
rare
it.
they
Like it's different from the other camo pattern, right?
Yeah,
there
there's
are
Paula-
3 jungle camos currently on the market. One is the cheapest one is for 75k.
Yeah. Screw that.
It's not the only one though. There's a Pollock. There's Tiger Stripes. There's little camo.
Oh, yeah, I have
Tiger
that.
stripes, magma, leopard,
There we go.
camouflage, candy stripe.
Digital camo.
If you use Pollock, you're not allowed to.
What's the difference between
Pippin.
candy stripe and diagonal?
You and your Pollock.
You can't use Pollock on Firecat, and you can't use the purple frame. That's mine.
Well, a gobbler is a lot.
I know. I just looked at that. 100k, innit?
Hmm.
90k, something like that.
What's the difference between candy stripe and diagonal?
No, Candy Stripe is like circular. Stripe.
Candy Stripe like also changes some like ultimate
Yes.
colors.
The gobbler's only 50 red beans, dude. It's not a lot.
What do you mean it's not a lot? It's like £5 real money.
Does anyone have a spare Mad Hat by chance?
There's also an add-on for previewing war paints and patterns.
Ooh.
It's called
It's
War
missing a
Painter.
couple though.
Yeah, it's missing a couple, but for the bulk of them, you can preview them with it.
Speaking of add-ons, there's also an add-on for blending called Auto Blend. It's really good.
I've heard all sorts of people recommend it, but I haven't sat down to figure out how the command line works yet, and I'm afraid of breaking something, you know?
You only need one command line, and that's /AB all, and that will take care of all your blending. You just go into your options in the add-on section, and you define your cutoffs for the different types of qualities. So it's standard. It uses about 7 of the 9 options, but you can extend the segments. For instance, I've maxed out mine to low whites, high whites, low greens, high greens, and then it goes by segments of 50 for qualities above that. And you can also set the amount of stacks that it will allow in each quality segment. So you can say, well, I don't want it to kick in automatically if there's only 2 different stacks, but when there's 3 different stacks, then I want it to kick in automatically and blend the stacks. What I would suggest is first use an alternative account to get some different resources and some different materials, so you can experiment with the settings, when they will kick in, when they won't kick in, and that will give you a great guide on how to use that.
Could I chime in for a second? What does this add-on do? Like, you're saying a lot about it, but it's kind of confusing me. Like, what exactly does it do?
You go into the printer, and when you've put into chat /AB space all, then it will remove any batch or any printer job that you've put in that's finished. It will automatically move that, and then start a new blend automatically, and it will blend a stack or different stacks into a set quality stack.
That's cool. Do you need to be in the printer that entire time for the script to pick that up and do it?
You need to be in the printer for the jobs to switch, but you don't need to be in the printer for the blending. So if there are 2 blending jobs currently there that are taking like 2 hours, then you can go off the game. But if you have multiple jobs that are taking 2 or 3 minutes, then it's better to stay in the printer and just move your mouse every once in a while.
Okay, so it's like kind of automating the blending process, and hope, like, I imagine and thought it's like you do it once and you'll have to do it again for a while.
Blend.
Yeah. There was a few questions by people saying, well, isn't this more or less automating something that should be monitored, or something that R5 wouldn't be okay with? And the creators of the add-on have talked to Faded Pass, and he said, well, it's okay with us.
They condone but don't encourage it. Something
No,
along those
no,
lines.
No, I think they said they don't mind it. I think it's only New Eden Defender. They said they don't want people to use.
Yeah.
What?
Well,
They've
some
said-
features of New Eden Defender.
Yeah, it's just like the way it shard jumps people. They don't want that. I mean, I know they took out, what was it, the invasion jump.
Yeah.
But I think Phobos did do a good long post. He pointed out all the reasons as to why on its thread.
And the auto blend add-on only takes out of the equation the finding the stacks that you don't really need different versions of, so you can blend them together. The blending itself takes the same time that it would normally use.
Yeah.
Can I get a link to that add-on?
Yeah, one moment.
As I am lazy and do not want to go looking through the forums.
I'm using 1,179 spots out of 8 million in my inventory.
I'm around the same, around the rough number.
Where do you see that?
Open your inventory.
Okay, I see it.
Huh.
Big numbers.
I'm gonna go for the lowest number here.
Try.
Go then, how much you got?
Me?
Yeah.
3,000. Give me a sec.
I've got 62 items. That's
Give me a
quite-
sec, I need to open it. 3,673.
Oh my god.
I wonder how fast I would die if I were to just drop off my glider wings.
The problem is
At
I don't
2400.
blend a lot. I can't blend a lot. Because if I start blending, it won't be pretty.
Dude, I'm still refining the materials that we got from that LGV thing.
Really?
Still, yeah.
I refined them a long time ago.
From your
Yeah, you probably
LGB
didn't-
testing?
Yeah.
You probably didn't have as many as they did.
I ran the LGV thing for 4 hours.
I ran it for a lot
some
longer.
of them drove it for upwards of 5
Oh, well.
days. We've actually known someone who got over, I think it was 30 million XP in one
Oh
time.
yes, I know someone who got over 40 million. Cheating fuck.
Yeah, and he is in the mirror.
No,
But yeah,
I
when you
didn't
have like
fucking do it.
50k of each resource to refine, like, you put it on the printer, it's like, oh, this is going to take like 3 days. Okay. I've never had refining take 3 days before, but...
Oh, I've had it take 7.
Oh my god.
Trust me, it takes long if you have a lot.
Why would you wait that long?
Because I need
Because
to
you need to
refine it.
research.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's true.
You should have seen how much resources I had from exploiting. Oh, sorry, strategically placing thumpers.
Well,
There
when you
was
were
the
like
weekend
that-
of the open.
I'm
go ahead.
sure that will be stricken off the record.
It's a question of what you prioritize for your printer slots. I still have
researched
stacks
everything I
of
need.
resources from the open beta weekend invasion fall thing.
Wow.
I've researched everything I needed. I don't
And
need
that's the
anything.
difference.
I've researched 4 full frames. Everything on them.
I should probably do that now.
Yeah,
I have
you
like
should.
2 new frames.
Get
I did
everything to at
4
least tier
frames.
3 before they specialise everyone. Then at least if you want to try a new frame, you can craft yourself a set of gear.
Yeah.
And it's
The,
only up to tier
the
3.
longest I've waited was for the thumper.
Squad 3.
Yep.
Oh my lord, a 10-day research
What?
time.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Yeah, I bought that
That's-
one for only
That's
50 red
worse.
beans.
The 10
For the
red
squad
beans.
3. 7 days for the personal 3.
Yeah.
Try refining 7 stacks of 60 to 80,000 resources each.
I'd like to see what Crickets is.
I told you I once had refining for 7 days.
person that got upwards of 30 million XP, most likely he has a long time to wait too.
Pretty much.
Well, he might as well
Guarantee.
wait for the new update, because then he'll be able to sell the raw materials.
Really? That's awesome.
On the other hand, all of those huge stacks of resources are only like, 5 resources across, taking up much less space than anything else, so.
The person who got 40 million only placed one frame, so they need only certain materials.
Buy raw resources just to have to refine it. Ugh.
To be fair, once you have all the frames maxed out, you just tank XP on your favorite frame.
Then we can spend it in army tech.
Pretty much. Our army, me and Sleepwalkers and Superheart's army will have great unlocks when that patch hits.
And I might have to look into getting super hard because my army's pretty much gone right now.
As is mine.
Well, all I can tell you is Superhearts has nearly the same amount of crystite as I do.
What the hell? Goddamn crystite logs.
I haven't checked with him.
Yeah, I'm probably going to end up joining because Raiders of the Lost Ark Fold is no longer going, quite honestly.
Last
I
time
think
I
my
checked with him,
character
we
has
had
finally
the same
hit the
kinda.
sandbox limit because he can no longer go upwards.
Yeah, pretty much. And I can imagine how much XP he has, same as me.
Make a ThumpDB profile, Shira.
I
want to see how much XP you actually have stats against the other
It
players.
doesn't work for me for some reason. I tried putting it once.
It doesn't work.
No, I'm serious.
What's Neha's XP right now?
254 million.
Wow.
And 45 million of that was boosted.
He's no life
So-
the crap out of his frame.
Hey,
It's his
fuck
favorite
off.
frame though.
How
I
much
know.
does he
Don't you dare
play?
say people know life. You don't know life the Firecat. You just become the Firecat.
Oh,
It's his best friend.
Neha plays a lot. More than me.
Actually,
He gets-
I'll
I think
say
he
that
gets
he
about
doesn't
2
play a
million a
lot. He AFKs in Diamond Head a hell of a lot. That's the
He
only
gets
place I
2
ever see
million
him.
a day.
Yeah, maybe that.
Not far from your location.
Yeah, I
But-
finally reached the limit. Let's see how fast I die
Boss,
upon
there's a
falling to the
squad
ground.
dumping for resources nearby.
Anybody got anything else on durability?
Fuck it.
We need to see it.
I think
Personally,
everything about durability has been said. The rate's not too bad at the moment. How much you get back for how much you lose isn't too bad quantity-wise. The issue is quality, and that's
Yeah,
intended.
but them saying they'll boost it, I disagree with it because now it's good.
Chosen armor's kind of useless though. It's not worth 25k that you might be paying on the market or higher.
Yeah.
All gear, all drops
Well,
is pointless.
look at
right
a
now.
Chosen Charge Rifle 4, for example. It's in upwards of 500,000, if not more. I've seen it go for 750 and sell pretty much instantly.
It's crazy.
It's not going to sell for anything now. Why would you pay that?
So
well as
pretty
pre-patch.
much, if you ask me, sell all your good chosen shit now, except
Okay.
for the heavy armor.
I
That
kind of
thing is
stand on
awesome.
one opinion about the Chosen gear. It kind of gives you reason to actually go out there and kill stuff.
Mhm.
Certain kind of gear that's specific for its own type, for its own reasons. Good for its own reasons.
Yeah, like the chosen heavy armor that makes you immortal.
Essentially. But
It's above
they could at
immortal.
least nerf that a little bit more.
Not immortal? Please,
have-
I can swim in water and nothing.
You're not immortal, I'm sorry. Let me heal you while running into the building.
Oh yeah,
I have
you're
a
right.
friend who likes
I'm not
being
immortal.
under
I
falling
heal.
thumpers
I'm not
with
immortal.
heavy armor.
It's above immortal. What's his last word?
Above immortal. Chuck Norris.
The thing I would like to suggest to Red 5 is restrict the amount of usage on the stock. Because I can run stock all day. There's no content that forces me to go above it. And I don't have any crystallite or resources sinks.
I don't know, man. Trying to run BWA in stock is
Perfectly doable.
It's doable, but by God, it takes a long time.
Yeah,
Depends on the
takes a
frame
long
you're
while,
running.
but-
Depends
but
on the frame you're
there's-
running.
but
Recluse,
especially when
Mammoth
you're doing
can
your
both run it in
single
stock
run
about the same time.
BWA, you get a lot of resources.
One shot death
but
from snipers.
Look at it this way. It takes longer for you to get resources than normal.
Yeah, but that's true for most frames anyway, Spikes.
The
With
fastest
stock-
frame to burn XP by far is Firecat. You can run into any areas, shoot a couple of things, run out, run to the next one.
By the way, Kuro, I think I know why you have the bug with the durability. Didn't they do you use the alt fire a lot in those missions?
They fixed the outfire.
Are you sure?
I'm fairly sure.
Then why the
Is that-
fuck are you losing durability like crazy?
I don't know. I really don't know. I think it's because I aggro anything, any of my abilities will draw fire. That's
Yeah,
my problem.
but I run in guns blazing inside a mission and I barely lose any durability.
The problem with mine is that every single one of my abilities is damage, and as soon as I deploy it, I'm in combat. That's my problem.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I can't deploy any ability without being forced into combat.
Same goes for me.
It's like I was running underneath, you know those annoying birds? Did
Mhm.
Inferno dash to get over a rock and it actually set off combat. You
Well,
started
then don't
attacking
use
me.
abilities.
Oh,
What
I'm
can I
sorry,
say?
yeah, let me just, get rid of my Firecat. What's the point in using it?
Yeah.
Let's go be
Firecat
recon.
sucks, I did tell you that.
No, it doesn't. It's best frame.
Bullshit.
If you're not playing
I
Firecat,
just
then what are you
told
doing?
Hey,
I'm
don't
s-
mock the Firecat. Firecat is awesome.
No.
The Fire Kitty.
Mammoth wins.
So I just traded like 80k resources for 1,000 durability of a complete set on the Bastion, and I think that's a okay ratio if you see the playing.
2% per thumper. 2% of your gear.
Yeah, but look at it this way. You get 2% for crafted gear, but the crafted gear lasts you a really long time.
Yeah.
Not if you play a lot.
It
problem is
repays with a plus, even.
It doesn't pay for the purple resources if you have to buy them though. That's the one problem with it.
Don't use purples.
Well, I don't see the point in fucking spending thousands on them then. Why was I even working for them?
Use high level blues. They
I am
work
using
too.
high level blues now.
I don't really see a big problem in there. The big problem comes as soon as you can't craft your own gear anymore because you're specialized in one category. So basically, I guess I will start to only use one frame and specialize in that frame and get my gear for it.
The other thing to do, which is what I'm doing, if you have the crystite for it, there are 3 specializations. You have the weapons, you have the frames, and you have the ability modules. Each frame has 3 abilities. Secondary weapons are shared, each frame has 1 weapon. Learn all the weapons, learn the passives that you want, and platings, because most of them are shared between the archetypes, and specialize in abilities. That way you can more or less cover everything.
Start a lot of research.
Yes, but we
It
still
is that
don't know
anyway.
if they remove the old research.
You're supposed to
if-
be
if-
quote-unquote grandfathered in, which
if
I
they-
understand to mean you keep what you have, but you can't continue if it's not in your spec. Sorry, continue, Kuro.
How are they going to do that though? Because I have everything to tier 2 and several frames to tier 4.
Boss,
Does that mean I'll just have to cross virtually anything then? It's not going to grandfather me at all.
So if I
Again,
research
as I
all the
understand it, yeah, go ahead.
So if I research all the platings and abilities, then there's no point of the new crafting system.
Nope.
Pretty much.
Good after.
Until they put in a new category, like say vehicles or whatever. Then, if you want to do that, you have to respec, which means everything you had, leaving you only with your spec stuff.
So if you want to get ahead of those things,
Not
that
to
are
mention
coming,
new
you
battle
need
frames
to
that are coming in.
like
There's no frame coming out that I want to use and replace my Firecat with.
if you need to if you want to get ahead of the things that are coming, you need to research and craft those things, because you're not going to be able to research and craft them if you're not specialized, as Smithson said.
No, you'll be able to craft them afterwards. You just won't be able to progress research if you haven't gotten something to stage 4 already, if it's outside your spec.
The way I understand it, you have to be specialized for abilities or weapons and such, and you can research within those abilities and weapons, for example.
Yeah.
And
I'm
you
talking
can
about
craft them.
being grandfathered in. If you already have researched it before they put the specialization in, you keep what you already researched, even outside your spec.
Yeah, we could
Exactly.
really do with the
Yes,
devs'
yes, of course.
decision
Yes,
on
but I
that one.
think what Driller is trying to say is you can only craft what's in your spec.
Exactly.
Well, in that case,
And when you
grandfathering in
change,
doesn't make
no,
any
no.
sense.
Exactly.
Listen, when you change the spec, the research stays, but you cannot craft that. That's what I think is gonna happen.
So you're locked into your specialization,
Exactly.
even though you haven't
That's-
chosen a specialization. That can't
That's
be
why
right.
I said, that's why I said you need to research and craft to get ahead.
But if you haven't chosen a specialization, then they can't tell you. There's no way to say what you should be able to craft.
You can't craft unless you choose a spec. It's really not difficult to set up.
As soon as you choose a spec, you'll get locked into that spec, but you will have the ability to switch over to your old spec and have all the old research still be there. But
Not
if you
old,
never
just
choose a
different.
spec, you should theoretically still have all
that's
the,
the thing. The
recipes.
research stays, but you cannot build the things.
But nobody knows for definite whether that's the case or not, which is, why I wish there was a dev here, because that could really do with being cleared up.
Yep.
I don't think they could do that though, because if they did, then they'd have to refund your crystite. You couldn't have, what is it, like, it must be 45,000 to fully max a track?
Yeah.
On one thing. You can't just have 45,000 crystite just sort of sucked into something that you can't actually use anymore.
I want my time back.
Another
Spent
possibility
researching.
that was pointed out in the German community coordinator, they told that it could be possible that you still be able to craft all the things you can craft now, but only the specialized items have some additional recipes you can find, or special recipes with chosen gear, or all the weapons are like 5% better than the ones everyone can craft without specialization. So you will still be able to craft everything, but not as good as the one who is specialized in that tree. That's another possibility, not...
Well, I think he already said that on Firefall Live, that if you specialize, that opens up more crafting options. So naturally, seems to me that it will always be better than Stage 4 version, because you won't have as many options when you're crafting advanced, or not advanced.
It's just wait and see until now. They're not sure even right what they're gonna implement, how it's gonna work, yeah. Well, I guess if we had this from the beginning of the game, we wouldn't be complaining as much, But since it's
As
basically
always.
added, as always.
Has
True,
anyone
yeah.
got anybody using
People
test
don't
server?
like change.
Test server, yes, but it's not on the PTS server.
Do you mind running some tests on something else that I'm crying about on the forums?
I think I know what you mean.
Yeah, too right.
Tiger Clear.
Nerve
Yeah.
Claw.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, me and you'll talk about that later. I'll give you a list of questions to investigate. Have you got Tiger Claw unlocked?
No, I haven't got anything unlocked anymore because they locked me out for some reason.
Huh?
I mean, they didn't ban me from playing on it. I mean, my frames are locked up for some reason.
You've been hanging around with
There was an
Shira too long.
issue with red beans. If you
you
bought them
too,
with
right?
red beans, if you bought them with red beans, yeah, then you get.
Yeah.
It's
Really, have you
locked up
checked
again.
it recently? Because I know they fixed an issue they did have with red beans on the PTS. So they may have unlocked them for you by now.
It wasn't yesterday. I'll check it out today. Okay.
Yeah, I think me and Sleep were in there day before yesterday, so it might not have been from. It probably didn't fix it then. I just thought it might have.
Give it a
from
go,
the patch,
and then I
yeah.
can poke you with some questions while you're doing it.
Yeah,
That'd be
I don't know,
fantastic, because I've got to go to work at about 50 minutes.
I don't have the Tiger Claw unlocked, so I don't know.
Okay, that's going to be tricky.
Yeah, I guess you can make a new character, and you have it for 48 hours to test out the frames, right?
Day 2.
On day 2. Oh, excellent. Well, we'll
It's
test it out tomorrow
24
then.
hours.
Boss, there's a squad
Okay then.
dumping for resources nearby.
I should be
Tomorrow.
able to check that now. What is it?
Yeah, you made a new character.
Yeah, I've got another account that I should be able to access it on. Spikes, if you
Then-
send me a PM with what it is you want me to have a look at, and I'll have a look at it now.
Yep, I'll start bombarding you with questions.
Yeah, primarily I want to see the secondary fire, correct?
Yeah, I'll have a look.
Yeah, okay.
What about the Tiger Claws?
Well, Nova Shot is apparently going to take 3 seconds to charge and fire and whatever. You can fire mini Nova Shots. Do they do less damage, or do they just do the full damage?
Somebody did tell me that you could still fire the secondary, and it still fired shorter, but I don't know what the outcome was. I'll jump on and have a look anyway.
Yeah. Because they said in the patch notes that it would be full damage for the full 3 seconds and that there was no shortcut, but it turns out somebody did a little video and he was firing miniature Novas that were smaller in radius, but whether or not they were smaller in damage or not was hard to tell because he was firing at random stuff and at random ranges, and it was a mess.
But nice and helpful.
Oh.
Nice and helpful then.
Well, at least it let me know that you could fire quick ones. So you can still fire one in 1.5 seconds. It's just enough. If you want the full radius, you have to work the full 3 seconds. Now, whether it's full damage or not, is what I'm really interested in.
I'm kind of
That's
like
fine.
that.
And then there's also some other changes that I'm confused about.
Trailblaze, yay!
Now, Trailblaze looks like somebody crafted a half decent one, and it seems that you can get it on rather a short charge, so it's not that big of an impact on running around the map, unless you're expecting to be running around the map with a stock one anymore. So Trailblaze will no longer be something that's really useful at stock and barely any more use at Trailblaze 4. And it should be that you end up with a blaze coming out the back of your feet as you're running along, and that should be contagious to other players. They'll be able to run across your trail, and that will give them the Trailblaze effect. Which makes me wonder why the hell you bother putting it on the floor at all, if you can have this trail after you. Hang on, somebody's saying something in...
Here's the link for the PTS patch notes.
I kind of see an exploit with that. People could possibly continue spreading the Trailblaze forever.
That'd be quite cool.
Well, the interesting thing is I've just logged on to PTS, and bearing in mind the last time I logged on was yesterday morning, so this should still be then classified as day 2, and nothing. I can't access the other frames. When I logged in, it said this is my first login today, or first login. Like,
But
no
if you
second
It's
day.
after midnight PST.
Has this got a set time on it than this one then? Because live doesn't. Live is random. It's like 20. It's
really random.
17
wait, sorry,
hours
not
after
midnight,
your first
midday.
one.
Great, more bugs. I think it was you, Laura, or Sleep that said if you unlock it with pilot tokens, then it works. You have it.
Yeah. No, it should be fine because I bought my Firecat with. No, I bought my Dragonfly with red beans when we had some, and I've still got full access to that frame. I didn't buy that one with. I didn't buy that one with pilot tokens. So it seems to be just a small issue with you, with your profile.
Yeah, it's your problem.
I did submit a ticket, no answer yet, so...
It's like Sleep Cut doesn't have his dailies in PTS, where a lot of us
Oh,
do.
yeah. Yeah.
Is he using a character that was created after the new user experience was implemented?
It doesn't matter because I'm using the same kind of character and it works for me.
Okay.
Yeah. And mine's... Yeah, apparently his one's day 1 PTS kind of character, and mine's newer in comparison, and I still have full access to it all.
Yeah, same.
Well, so much for that theory then.
Ah, it dropped down. I recognise you from the forum. Yeah, I was just asking people to try and test it for me, but nobody can get at it. Bit of a problem. Still waiting for a reply from that fella on the forums who was making the video. Tiger Claw.
I need to download that thing again, the PTS.
Tackle and PTS, I'll check it.
How do you download it? Or
Everybody
do you
can
need-
get onto PTS, but nobody can get hold of their extra frames by the sound of things.
Give me, I have all the frames unlocked, but we'll need a couple of days because I need to download it first. With my shitty net, it will take a while.
Well, I'll check it later on, and if I still can't access it, then I'll let you know. If I can access it, then I'll have a look and I'll send you a PM on the
Okay,
forums.
because tomorrow I'll be downloading the PTS again.
Yeah,
Because
but do you have the tokens? Did you unlock it with tokens?
what?
Pilot tokens. Did you unlock them?
I have all the frames unlocked. I play the PTS a lot.
So that's a yes.
Yes.
I know Sleep's typing and he can hear, but no, because I bought my Dragonfly with red beans, mate, and it's still I've still got access to that on PTS, so it's not that's not the issue. I paid red beans for my Dragonfly. Yeah, I've still got access to it, so it's not the fact it was bought with pilot tokens that's the issue. That's not the issue. Yeah, it's basically like your daily issues. Yeah, either way, I'll have a look at little play over the next couple of days and see if I can get in there, and if I can, then I'll let you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll log into PTS right now.
Wait, hang on. Drop down saying that the Nova. I think he's saying that the Nova shot is doing less damage than the primary fire if you're doing the miniature Nova.
Then that is awful.
So that means that the mini Nova is doing damage relative to the amount of charging that you're doing, not just the area of effect.
Sounds fair.
And that's
Yeah,
I
kind
believe
of.
that I heard the number 1/3 thrown around. I might be making that up.
So you got to do a full 3-second Nova if you want the full damage and area of effect. Which theoretically makes missile shot actually viable because Nova.
Because they nerfed everything else?
Yeah, that's not exactly.
Well, balancing, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, it's a pretty hefty
Yeah,
nerf.
but there's something called too much balancing.
Considering the Nova shot was the Tiger Claw's only real advantage over other frames.
Yeah, now he's, well, weak. To be fair. Too weak.
I mean, Trailblaze isn't anything compared to Thermal Dash and Afterburner.
Mm-hmm.
Disruption, even if it's contagious, that's still not. You know, the contagious snare isn't going to win any votes. So you're just going to end up with basic assault abilities again. Only this time you've got
The big thing about the Tiger
less of a
Claw is that
decent gun.
it can fly forever. You can jump jet forever.
Well,
because
the Firecat
if you use
does that better.
No, if you do the passive with the Tiger Claw, and then you use Trailblaze, it stores the 3 charges, and you do the abilities, you like literally never run out of jet energy.
Yeah,
Or
Except
you
that they
can do
nerfed that, you
double
only get
dash
one
and
stack of
then-
trail now.
Or you can do burn jets and afterburner.
Or just soaring afterburner and jump jets.
Yeah.
So basic area assault can stay up in the air as long as it wants.
Yeah.
But it's just boring.
There's no
and
need
there's
to
nothing really
nerf
to
the
do.
auxiliary tanks.
Apart from Jill.
Yeah.
I think you may have the wrong number. Who are you trying to reach?
At least still, you can
Yes,
go
it
with
is.
lesser jump jets on the Tiger Claw. I hope still after the patch.
Oh, so you're from
You know, save up on the
Yes,
mass
brilliant.
and still be efficient because of the passive.
Who's talking in the back?
Oh, yes, perfectly fine.
The
Bikes
wife.
are echoing.
Spikes!
Have they reached the wrong house?
Right, sorted.
Oh wait,
Using
a
stock
slice of life there.
Novas, I'm getting 700 damage for a full charge
They
and
did fix
500
it.
for a mini charge.
By the way, did they do anything to the electron? Because if they touched it in any way, I will kill them.
I can switch to Firecat in the PTS. I just did. It wasn't even available for me at the Battlefront station. Now it is. They fixed it.
Oh yeah, Dark Bike, it's awesome.
And a lot harder.
It's supposed to be hard.
Yeah.
It's a real test if you're worthy of the game or not. By the way, who wanted to join the Hearts army? I forgot.
Phoenix.
Mm-hmm. Thanks. Okay.
The moist cheese might want to, I'm not sure, I'll have to check.
Oh, TransHub is liberated on the PTS.
That's a first.
It's been occupied for days.
That's what I said, that's a first.
Here's a thing that I find curious. Why is it that you cannot buy an LGV for red beans on the PTS?
Because they're clever and removed it
Yeah.
at that
Because
point in time.
everyone was wasting the red beans on the LGV and they want you to experience crafting an LGV.
No, they wanted you to waste the red beans on the slot machine because that's when they introduced them.
Not just that, they wanted you to waste Crystite on the LGV because they wanted to see how it would be for normal new players. So you can give feedback to that.
Barrel, I see you.
And how normal
well,
new
that's easy.
players without LGVs would go around and do stuff.
Well, I have 3
More
days played and
feedback.
50,000 Crystite.
And because the blue LGV is fucking overpriced, and only rich people have it. Or people
Like
crazy
me.
enough to get it. Pick your choice.
Like you.
Pretty much. I'm the second one. I'm the crazy enough to get it.
I actually like how now in the distance you can actually see Thumpus crashing.
By the way, Sergeant, did you get my message?
Your message on...
TeamSpeak.
Suddenly, we got silence again.
Well, we were
Everybody's
talking about
busy,
durability, and we
yes.
finished, and we didn't move on, so yeah.
So nobody can get into PTS to test a Tiger Claw. They've only got
I'm on
anything else.
PTS, I tested Tiger Claw.
Alright, I'll start badgering you with questions then.
Knock yourself out.
Badger, 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 badger.
Boss, there's a squad dumping for resources nearby.
Badger, badger, badger.
What the fuck?
Yes, we're going down that road.
Oh, no, 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 close tab, close tab.
No,
No,
no, no,
bad
no,
cat
no,
again.
no,
No,
no, no, no,
bad
no, no.
cat.
Bad guy.
The hell? No.
This is going to be something that I can't unsee.
Alright. So I think we're good to go. Unless anybody else has anything specific to add to or from the FCOM, we can just leave it open discussion at this point.
It's so funny.
Alrighty then.
I could watch this for days.
Thanks everybody for coming by.
Thanks for setting us up.
Yep. Fun times.
Thanks for inviting us.
See you guys next month, I'm sure. Yeah.
See ya.
Yep.
See you.